The Dallas Cowboys, known as the Cowboys, are a professional American football team in the National Football League (NFL) based in Dallas, Texas. Founded in 1960, the Cowboys are one of the most iconic and successful teams in the league, with a rich history filled with accomplishments and memorable moments. Founding history: The Dallas Cowboys were founded on January 28, 1960, as an expansion of the NFL. The team's original owner was Clint Murchison Jr., who hired Tom Landry as head coach and Tex Cramb as general manager. Establishing an expansion team in Dallas was a bold move, as the city did not have a long tradition of professional American football at the time. 1960s. The first steps: In the 1960s, the Dallas Cowboys began their journey in the NFL as a developmental team. Their first regular season game was held on September 24, 1960, marking the beginning of a new era in Dallas football. However, these early years were not without their challenges and obstacles. In their first few seasons, the Cowboys struggled to find their identity and establish themselves as a contender in the league. The team was known for its tenacity and determination, but often found themselves at a disadvantage against more experienced teams. Despite the struggles, the Cowboys began to show glimpses of their potential as the decade progressed. One of the key moments in this decade was the selection of quarterback Roger Staubach in the 1964 NFL Draft. Staubach, nicknamed Captain America, became an iconic figure for the Cowboys and played a pivotal role in the team's future success. However, Staubach initially served in the United States Navy and did not join the team until 1969, but his influence would be immense in the 1970s. The Cotton Bowl Stadium, which was the Cowboys' home at the time, became an iconic place where fans would gather to support their team. Despite the challenges on the field, the loyalty of Cowboys supporters was undeniable and contributed to the growth of the team's fan base. As the 1960s drew to a close, the Cowboys had overcome many hardships and were ready to enter the 1970s with renewed determination and emerging talent. These early steps into the NFL laid the groundwork for what would become one of the most successful franchises in the history of professional football. 1970s. The golden era of the 1970s marked the Dallas Cowboys' ascension to the NFL elite and became one of the most golden eras in the team's history. Under legendary coach Tom Landry, the Cowboys established themselves as a dominant team and captured back-to-back Super Bowls in the 1971 and 1972 seasons, establishing their place in league history. Super Bowl VI in 1972 was a historic moment for the franchise, as the Cowboys defeated the Miami Dolphins by a score of 24-3, winning their first Super Bowl championship. This achievement marked the beginning of an era of continued success for the team. The 1970s also witnessed the rise of notable players who would become Cowboys legends. Roger Staubach, the quarterback, excelled as a leader on the field and earned the nickname Captain America for his ability to lead the team in critical situations. Other notable players of the era included Tony Dorsett and Randy White, who both made significant contributions to the team's success. The Cowboys' offense, led by Staubach, was known for its ability to execute exciting and efficient plays, while the defense, with figures like White, was relentless in protecting Dallas territory. This combination of talent in both phases of the game made the Cowboys a feared team in the league. The Cotton Bowl Stadium, which had been the home of the Cowboys in the 1960s, witnessed the team's triumphs in this decade. Fans flocked to the stadium with enthusiasm and passion, creating an electric atmosphere at every home game. The 1970s closed with a second Super Bowl title in the 1977 season, when the Cowboys defeated the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl XII by a score of 27-10. This achievement further cemented the Cowboys' position as one of the most successful teams in the NFL. The 1970s were a golden era for the Dallas Cowboys, characterized by Super Bowl championships, legendary players, and a passionate fan base. This period left an indelible mark on the franchise's history and solidified its legacy as one of the NFL's most iconic teams. 1980s. Continuing success. The 1980s were a continuation of the Dallas Cowboys' success in the NFL. Although they did not win another Super Bowl in that decade, the team demonstrated their consistency and competitiveness, which kept them among the league's elite contenders. Under the leadership of coach Tom Landry, the Cowboys maintained their focus on excellence on the field. The 1980s saw the continuation of the dynamic offense led by quarterback Roger Staubach, who remained an iconic figure for the team. Staubach continued to demonstrate his ability to run the offense and lead the Cowboys in high-pressure situations. The Cowboys' defense also remained solid, with standout players such as Brandy White, Tall Jones, and Harvey Martin forming a formidable defensive line that made it difficult for opponents on the field. In this decade, the Cowboys consistently reached the playoffs and competed in several NFC Championship games. Despite not winning the Super Bowl during this period, their consistent playoff presence proved their status as one of the most respected teams in the league. Texas Stadium became the home of the Cowboys for most of the 1980s and witnessed exciting games and memorable moments. The loyalty of Cowboys fans continued to be a major factor in the team's success, and the stadium was packed with passionate supporters at every home game. The 1980s served as a transitional period for the Cowboys as they continued to build their legacy and prepare for future success. Despite not winning any Super Bowl championships in this decade, their ability to compete at a high level further cemented their place as one of the most respected franchises in the NFL. 1990s, the golden decade of Super Bowls. The 1990s were noted as the Dallas Cowboys' golden decade in the NFL, and was a period of great success and dominance in the league. Under the ownership of Jerry Jones and the leadership of head coach Jimmy Johnson, the Cowboys won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, cementing their legacy as one of the most successful teams in NFL history. The 1992 season marked the beginning of this incredible run of success, as the Cowboys won their 3rd Super Bowl in team history. They defeated the Buffalo Bills in Super Bowl XXVII by a score of 52-17, setting the record at the time for the most points scored in a Super Bowl. Quarterback Troy Aikman, running back Emmitt Smith, and receiver Michael Irvin became the Cowboys' offensive triple threat, known as the Triplets. These 3 players played crucial roles in the team's success during this decade. Aikman proved to be a leader on the field, Smith became the NFL's all-time rushing yards leader, and Irvin was a standout receiver. In the 1993 season, the Cowboys repeated their success by winning Super Bowl XXVII, this time again defeating the Buffalo Bills by a score of 30-13. The Cowboys' offense remained prolific, and their defense was loaded with talent, led by players like Charles Haley and Ken Norton Jr. The 3rd Super Bowl of the decade came in the 1995 season, when the Cowboys defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers in Super Bowl XXX by a score of 27-17. This achievement cemented the Cowboys as one of the most successful teams in Super Bowl history. The 1990s witnessed a combination of talent, leadership, and a passionate fan base that made the Cowboys an unbeatable powerhouse. The streak of 3 Super Bowls in 4 years left an indelible mark on the team's history and solidified its legacy in the NFL. Despite changes in the team and management over the years, the successes of the 1990s remain a highlight in the Dallas Cowboys' history and a reminder of their NFL greatness. 2000s and beyond. Challenges and continued hopes. As the new millennium progressed, the Dallas Cowboys faced challenges and ups and downs in their quest for NFL greatness. Although they have not won another Super Bowl since 1995, the team has remained competitive and has successful seasons along the way. The franchise experienced changes in management and coaching staffs over the years, leading to adjustments in strategy and team dynamics. Despite these changes, the Cowboys continued to be a respected and feared team in the league. Quarterback Tony Romo stood out as one of the team's offensive leaders in the 2000s and early 2010s. Romo became one of the most prolific passers in Cowboys history and led the team to multiple playoff appearances. AT&T Stadium, opened in 2009, became the new home of the Cowboys and has become a symbol of the team's greatness. This impressive stadium, located in Arlington, Texas, has hosted top-tier sporting and entertainment events and has maintained the tradition of filling the stands with passionate fans. The team has had promising seasons where they made the playoffs, but securing another Super Bowl championship has eluded the Cowboys. However, the fan base remains loyal and hopeful, believing in the possibility of the team returning to glory in the future. The 2000s and beyond have been a period of continued challenges and hopes for the Cowboys. Despite not achieving the same level of success as in previous decades, the franchise remains a pivotal part of NFL history and maintains its place as one of the most iconic organizations in American sports. AT&T Stadium. One of the significant changes in the history of the Cowboys was the construction of AT&T Stadium, which opened in 2009. This impressive stadium, located in Arlington, Texas, has become a symbol of the team's greatness and has hosted top-level sporting and entertainment events.